Hi guys, welcome back to story time. Don't worry about my face. I was experimenting with makeup and it's all old, so I had to throw it out. I don't usually wear makeup unless it's my anniversary or a birthday or something like we're gonna go see our children. But this color is so old and it stained my brows. I can't get it off. I tried to lighten it, but I'll take it off with something, baby oil, something that I can find. But that's me with makeup. I try my best. It's dark. Anywho, how are you? If you're new, I do stories my own crazy way. Welcome back. And we are reading Judy, Moody, and Stink, the Big Bad Blackout. If you're all subscribers, thank you for sticking with me and by me and all of the above. And this is the book. And we were going to start the chapter that is called Ghost Toasties. And it has this nice wellies, I guess, for the rain. I'll get the candles, said Mom. I'll get the flashlight, said Dad. I'll get the marshmallows, said Stink. Outside, the storm flashed and crashed. Pugsy yipped and yapped. Milo ran in circles around the room. Judy and Grandma Lou felt their way to the front window and peered outside. The whole street is black, said Judy. Looks like the storm knocked out power to the whole neighborhood, said Grandma Lou. Oh my gosh. Spooky, says Stink. No electricity, no lights, no computer, no TV. That means, I can't play the Mad Muskrats physics-based castle demolition game. No computer mini-golf or bowling games either, said Judy. But also no bath, Stink chirped, and no homework. Mom brought candles, sending tuna fish cans to the table. We're pioneers, says Stink, like Abe Lincoln in his log cabin, except instead of coyotes and mountain lions, there are ferrets and candy cane snakes. Mom went to look, excuse me. Mom went to look for more candles. Dad started a fire in the fireplace. Oh, that's a nice fireplace. Do you have a fireplace? I don't have a fireplace because, you know, I live in Florida and a lot of people have them, but I don't have one. All right. Wow! Oh, said Judy and Stink. Musical board games. It's Abe Lincoln's approved. You know musical chairs. You each get to pick 2 board games. We'll set up all 4 games around the room. 4 games, said Judy. I'll turn on the music and you start playing one game. Wait. Nope. Back it up. These arthritic fingers do not pass pages as they used to. So I skipped the page. So hang on. We were over here with the fireplace. And I don't know how to fix the video. So we're going to continue. So it says, the house seems extra snug in the dark. Sorry about that. Outside, the wind howled. I'm bored, said Stink. You're not bored, said Judy. You're never bored. I know, but it's dark and nobody's saying anything for a while. There are a lot of things we can do by candlelight, said Grandma Lou. I could teach you to knit. We could make knitted zombies. A tree limb cracked outside the window. Stink shivered. No thanks, he said. We could play cards. How about cuckoo canasta? But we only have 3 people, said Judy. I know, said Grandma Lou. Let's play a board game. Cluedo, said Judy. Too scary, said Stink. Scrabble? Too long, said Judy. How about Chinese checkers? You always win, said Stink. Maybe trouble? You always win, said Judy. Let's play sorry. Wow, said Grandma Lou. I'm sorry. I caused so much trouble. We could be here all night trying to make up our minds. Abe Lincoln play marbles, said Stink. Tell you what, let's play musical board games, Grandma Lou said. Here we go. Look at all the little zombies. They're Are they trying to get in the house? Okay, now. What? Huh? Now that we come to the page. Said Judy and Stink. Musical board games. It's Abe Lincoln approved. You know musical chairs? You can get to pick 2 board games. We'll set up 4 games around the room. 4 games, said Judy. I'll turn on the music and you start playing 1 game. When I stop the music, you move to the next game. It goes really fast. That's Cuckoo Berry, said Stink. Cuckoo Berry times 4, said Judy. Let's play, said Stink, bouncing up and down. No, wait, can't. There's no power. And we're going to play music? How are we going to play music? Grandma Lou dug in her bag. One thing you should know about your old grandma, she never leaves home without a deck of cards, asked Stink. Cough drops, asked Judy. Batteries. Stink. Go get that old CD player, Judy said. Well, they're good. She's got batteries. She's all ready. Judy and Stink played musical board games until they were out of breath. Pugsy chased after Judy and Stink, and Milo chased after Pugsy. Mouse watched the whole thing. Then they played Spit in the Ocean and Old Maid, which Grandma Lou made them call Not So Old Granny. Let's read a book, said Grandma Lou. It's too dark, said Judy and Stink at the same time. Oh my goodness, look, they're all running around like crazies. Sounds like fun though. I wish we'd come up with that when our lights went out in Puerto Rico. We play hide and go seek outside. Jinx! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, said Judy. You owe me a hot chocolate, Stink. Too bad the stove doesn't work in the blackout. Ha ha ha! Grandma Lou rummaged through her bag and pulled out a book. Candlelight Stories. Oh, she's always ready. This was your dad's book when he was your age. Coolsville, says Stink. Abe Lincoln didn't have electricity in his log cabin, so he read books by candlelight too. Grandma Lou read a fairy tale about a mouse, a bird, and a talking sausage. While she read, Stink folded origami boats. Mouse tossed with them. Toyed with them. When Judy made a hurricane flip book out of sticky notes, Pugsy tried to chew it. Weird, says Stink. I bet Abe Lincoln did not have a book about talking sausage. I never knew it could be so fun without a computer. Or lights, said Judy. Or a TV, or video games, said Stink. Stink got out his markers and made a poster about 9 things to do in a blackout. Dad tried Stink's flashlight radio, but he couldn't get a signal. I'll try the radio in the car. When he came back, he said, sounds like they closed half the streets in town. We may need Gert just to get you two to school tomorrow. School, said Judy. School, said Stink. Just kidding, said Dad. Actually, they may need school for a shelter, so it'll probably be a few days. Yippee! Yelled Stink and Judy. When it was time for dinner, Dad asked, what should we have? Peanut butter and marshmallow sandwiches? I did manage to get bread, eggs, and baked beans at the store, said Mom. Silver dollar pancakes, said Stink. Don't tell me. Abe Lincoln ate silver dollar pancakes, said Judy. Stink shrugged. No, but he did eat corn cakes with honey and sausages. Not the talking kind. Breakfast for dinner, said Grandma Lou. I like it, but I have a better idea. What could be better than having silver dollar pancakes? Stink asked. Ghost in the hole, said Grandma Lou. Ghost in the hole? Stink asked in a whisper. You take a piece of bread and you cut out the middle with a cookie cutter. We used to call them tools in the hole. Oh, toads. Toads in the hole, said Dad. We did. And I just happened to have Grandma Lou rummage in her bag. A ghost-shaped cookie cutter, see? You cook an egg in the middle, we can do it in a skillet over the fire. I guess. Sorry, we got cut off. I don't know why, but here we go. Ghost toast, said Judy. I like it. Ghost toasties, says Stink. In no time, Grandma Lou had whipped up a ghost toast for everybody. Look. That's the ghost right there. It's so tiny and cute. Puxie ate the one she dropped on the floor. My ghost toasty is staring at me with a creepy yellow eye, says Stink. I call it the eye of the storm. He stopped the fork into the eye of the storm. Yellow stuff oozed all over his plate. Breakfast is better cooked over a fire. Pass the beans, please. He picked up a spoon, dug in, and ate beans right out of the can. Stink, you never liked beans before, said Mom. They taste better in a can, says Stink. Just like how Abe Lincoln ate them. Stink. Abe Lincoln didn't even have food in a can, did he? Judy asked. Yeah, said Stink. They ate stuff from cans in the Civil War. Some guy even invented the can opener back then. Yes, but did Abe Lincoln eat breakfast for dinner? Said Judy. No matter how great he was, said Stink, I'll bet Abe Lincoln never ate ghost toasties while he waited out a hurricane. Hurricane Annabelle. Oh my gosh, look at this. Woo! Even the chicken going woo. Dinner was over. The Moody's huddled around the fireplace. Orange and blue flames licked the logs, sending spooky shadows dancing across the family room. Outside, the rain made a steady drumbeat on the roof. Is it time yet? Asked Stink. Is it time yet? Asked Judy. It's time, said Mom. Time for what? Asked Grandma Lou. Time for s'mores, yelled Judy and Stink. Dan got the long forks. Mom got the chocolate and graham crackers. Stink and Judy ripped open the marshmallows. Oh, that looks delicious. Look at that. It's melting. Oh, it's making me hungry. Oh, are you hungry for s'mores? I want s'mores. Oh, while they roasted marshmallows on a stick over the fire, Grandma Lou said, s'mores go better with stories. Let's each tell a story. You first, Grandma Lou, said Stink. And make it scary, but not too scary. Let's see, said Grandma Lou. Oh, I know. Well, this story isn't scary, but it's about a hurricane. Hurricane story. Cool beans, said Judy. When I was a young girl, a little older than Judy, I lived on a farm and... Is this an olden day story, I think, like in Abe Lincoln times? Or an LBS like that tells, said Judy. Long, boring story. Thanks a lot, said Dad. Did you have electricity back then? Stink asked Grandma Lou because Abe Lincoln didn't. Yes, we had electricity, said Grandma Lou. I'm not quite as old as Abe Lincoln, you know. Anyway, my dad, your great-grandpa, let me raise chickens for my 4-H project. I belong to the Cluck Club. Cluck Club. That's hard to say. Quack! Stink cluckle. I had 6 chickens. One of them, Susie Q, was very special. When she was just a 3-day-old chick, I rescued her from the jaws of our barn cat, Daisy. Oopsie daisy, said Judy, and everybody cracked up. Susie Q had blue legs and black tail feathers. I had to hand feed her because she had a crooked beak. That chicken rode around with me on my bike. She hopped on my shoulder when I was brushing out horse sweet potato or read with me. Okay, look at the picture. She's running with her bicycle and the chicken. I don't know. Wow, it doesn't fly away. She looks very happy. I'll never forget the first time she laid an egg. She stood up straight as a statue, raising her head high and oopsie daisy, looked looked as surprised as anyone when out popped a monster egg. Not just any old white egg either, a blue egg. Whoa, like an Easter egg? Sting asked. Yes, sirree. That bird laid the most beautiful sky blue egg you ever set eyes on. I knew right then and there Susie Q would win me a prize at the county fair. Then it happened. One warm fall day, October 1954, I think it was, wind started whipping around the farm like crazy, blowing over anything that wasn't nailed down. We heard on the radio that Hurricane Annabelle was headed our way. Boy, that was some storm. Rained like a river. 120-mile-an-hour winds took the roof right off the tool shed. Grandma Lou snapped her fingers just like that. And look, oh my goodness. That's scary. Look at the poor barn. Or the little house where the chicken was, maybe. Oh my gosh. At almost the exact time that Grandma Lou snapped her fingers, they showed her slap against the house. Stink, jump! Hurricanes are serious business, said Grandma Lou. Folks up in Hampton had reported gusts of 130 miles an hour. So you can imagine when Hurricane Annabelle blew in, I was worried about my chickens. Chickens don't even like to get wet. Makes them madder than a wet hen, said Dad, laughing at his own joke. All the chickens scurried into the coop except for one. Uh-oh, said Judy. Grandma Lou nodded. I looked everywhere for her, but that time it was wet as a drowned rat. My dad made me go back inside the house. So what'd you do? Judy asked. I pressed my nose to the window, my eyes glued on that chicken coop, hoping she'd come back. I was plenty angry with my dad for leaving Susie out there and not letting me go back outside. I'm sure I hardly said 3 words to him for a whole week. What happened? What happened? Stink asked. Did you ever find her? I went to bed. Hardly slept a wink. Wake up the next morning and everything was blown to smithereens. 3 limbs had been tossed around like pickup sticks. The tool shed was just a pile of toothpicks. Mom held her breath. The chicken coop was gone. What do you mean gone? Judy asked. G-O-N-E. Gone. Blown from here to Hula Balu or Timbuktu by Annabelle. And Susie Q? 4 days after the Hurricane Annabelle blew out, I rode around in the back of my dad's truck, searching high and low for that chicken, calling for her, asking everybody we came across if they seen a blue-legged, black-tailed chicken with a crooked beak. Did you ever find her? Judy asked. Just when I thought I'd never see Susie Q again, one day out of the blue, I picked up the newspaper. Right there on the front page was a story about a girl a few towns over who won first prize at the county fair for a blue egg. Oh no, that's her chicken. Look. And she won first prize. The paper says she'll find her prize egg layer in the hurricane. So they called their blue-legged, black-tailed chicken Annabelle. Oh, they changed her name. I knew Annabelle had to be my Susie Q. I could tell by her crooked beak. Not to mention, she got herself a first prize blue ribbon for laying the most beautiful blue egg. Did you get her back? Judy asked. Grandma Lou's face glowed copper in the firelight. She smiled. My daddy drove me out there and we met that girl and her family, and I'll be godsmacked if that chicken didn't flap right up onto my shoulder as soon as she saw me. Oh, look. She went right up to her. She knew who she was. That was her mommy. I got my Susie Q back. To this day, I still can't figure out how she ended up in a hole 3 towns over. But that's what's the power of Hurricane Annabelle. The end, says Stink. That was a long story. And it wasn't even boring, said Judy. Oh my gosh. Annie Oakley and the Fireman. Annie Oakley? Ooh! Look at the flowers, are so pretty. Sting stabbed a marshmallow with his fork. Let's have some more stories with s'mores, he chirped. Mom smiled at Dad over her glasses. Dad and I have a story about our wedding. It's a story on how another woman came between us, Dad teased. Sting's eyes got big. You mean Mama was a mom? And you almost weren't born, Judy teased. Her name was Stacy, said Dad. Yuck, said Sting. Hurricane Stacy, Mom cried. Hurricane Cupid, said Grandma Lou. She winked. Tell us, said Sting. For the record, an outdoor wedding was your mother's idea, Dad began. The day started out warm and sunny, said Mom. Then all of a sudden, Dad said, about an hour before the wedding was supposed to begin, the temperature dropped and the wind kicked up. The whole sky went dark. Whoa. Maybe that was a sign. Oh my goodness. Those dark clouds were like a sign, said Mom. Oh. Sting shuddered as wind howled down the chimney. A prickle went up Judy's back. What's a prickle? Trees were bending sideways, and all the chairs on the lawn blew over, Dad told them. By that time, about 60 or 70 guests has already arrived. Then the sky opened up, said Mom. Rain like you've never seen. And I was in my dress. I ran for shelter under the big white tent, where the tables and food were set up for the reception. Did Dad see you? Judy asked. That's way bad luck. Oh my goodness, look, they're soaking wet. Oh, that's not very good. But let's see. Oh, let me make sure I passed the page correctly. Okay, let me see. Yep. I'll say, I thought the whole wedding was off, said Mom. But Dad suggested we have the wedding under the tent, too. Dad and Grandpa Jack rushed to town to get emergency supplies like flashlights and batteries in case the power went out. Bad idea, said Dad, shaking his head. The roads were flooding, said Grandma Lou. There were down power lines, fallen trees. It was dangerous to be driving around in that. So what happened, I think? Crash! Mom slapped her hands together like a thunderclap. Shh, wait a minute, I'm doing a story. The rain came down even harder and blew in sideways under the tent. Me and Grandma Lou and my parents and the guests started moving the food from the tent into the old barn. We had saved most of it when kerplunk! Down came the whole tent. Oh my gosh. Oh, poor girl. Oh no, look at people trying to get out from under the tent. Because it was too much water, I guess. Whoa, said Judy. By that time I was drenched, said Mom. And my dress was ruined. I looked around the barn for something dry to wear. All I could find was the trunk with some old costumes in it. Did you dress up like a witch? Stink asked. Or Wonder Woman? Judy asked. Annie Oakley, said Mom. Dad cracked up. That's cuckoo berries, Stink said. That's still not the worst part, said Mom. What's the worst part? Asked Judy. How can it get any worse? Asked Stink. No, Dad, said Mom. Judy twisted a curl of hair. Stink tore at a fingernail. 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, said Mom. Still no Dad. Did you get scared of Mary, Mom, and run away? Stink asked Dad. Of course not, said Dad. Did you think Dad had ditched you, Mom? Judy asked. It did cross my mind, said Mom. She threw her wedding ring back and forth. But mostly I was scared to death that something had happened to him. The power had gone out, too. Of course, said Grandma Lou. No lights, no microphone, no music, no wedding, said Mom. We were all holed up in the barn just waiting, listening to the storm rage when blammo! Off blew the barn doors. Oh my gosh, don't get married. I remember seeing cocktail shrimp bobbing and floating like rubber duckies in a puddle. Look at the shrimp. Oh no. Dad tossed another log on the fire. Sparks danced up in the chimney. Sting was practically jumping out of his skin. Dad, where were you? Dad just smiled. Let Mom tell it. Mom went on. I was sure the whole barn was going to blow. Down like a house of cards. I mean, everything else had gone kaplooey, right? That's when above the howling wind, I heard a siren. It grew closer and closer. Finally, a fire engine came screaming up the drive. My heart jumped in my throat. I was sure they were coming to tell us that something bad had happened to Dad and Grandpa Jack. The room got quiet, except for the spitting fire. From a loudspeaker on the fire truck came a voice like Darth Vader. The voice said, Kate Edison, will you marry me? Mom's eye teared up. Oh, I raced out into the pouring rain in an Annie Oakley costume. There was your father, leaning on the fire engine, wearing a giant yellow slicker, a Little Mermaid life preserver, and a funny grin. Oh my gosh, what a wedding. Look at him, they're all soaking wet. At least he got there, right? You had to mention the fire preserver, didn't you? Dad said, chuckling. I burst out crying. I was never so happy to see your dad. Grandpa and I had driven the car through some deep water in the road and the engine conked out, Dad explained. We pushed the car to higher ground and tried forever to get it started. Luckily, some firefighters stopped to help. When I said it was my wedding day, well, the rest is history. Grandma Lou clapped her hands. Now you kids know the story of how Annie Oakley married a fireman. Stinking Judy laughed. So you got married and had us and lived happily ever after? Said Stink. And we had cake, said Dad. Lots and lots of cake, said Mom. It was about the only thing that didn't get ruined that day. And the fire truck played its radio over the loudspeaker so Dad and I could have our first dance together. The Temptations. I wish it would rain. Mom and Dad started singing. That's a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad story, said Judy. But the ending makes it so great. I thought she was mad. Epic, says Stink. Hey, wait. Did you say Edison? That's my middle name. I thought it was Earwig, said Judy. Hardy har har. Stink made a face at Judy. Too bad the real Thomas Edison didn't come to your wedding. He could have invented the light bulb all over again and saved the whole entire wedding. Judy snorted. From a whirlwind romance to a hurricane wedding, said Grandma Lou. Sting held out a couch pillow. Kate, would you marry me? He made smooching sounds. Judy hung a pillowcase from her head and a veil and pretended she was in a wedding march. Da, 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 she sang. Look at him. That Stink over there making like he's kissing. That's cute. That's a cute story. We still have a piece of that wedding cake, said Mom. In the freezer. Oh, that's the iceberg in the back of the freezer? Judy asked. What are we waiting for? Stink asked. Let's eat it. We're saving this for a special occasion, said Dad. But this is an emergency, said Stink. What could be more special than that? We're going to stop it right here because I don't know if I'm going to have to do the other part again because the video just stopped on me all of a sudden. So it's getting really good. Now they have no power and they're telling stories and it's very interesting. So I'm hoping that you like it and you're liking it so far. I'll see you soon and I'll come back without all this stuff in my face because I don't really like to wear makeup. So you can tell how bored I was. Okay, that's it. So I'll see you on the next one. Be good. Make good decisions. Bye.